Did you know Jesus once described a moment when every nation on earth would be gathered, then separated like sheep from goats? What does that even mean, and where will you stand? Matthew 25:32 says, "All the nations will be gathered before him, and he will separate them one from another, as a shepherd separates the sheep from the goats." To understand this, we've got to zoom out. Jesus is describing what happens when he returns not as a humble savior, but as the King of glory. This isn't a parable anymore, it's a prophecy. Jesus shared this revelation with his disciples on the Mount of Olives just days before his crucifixion. In his divine wisdom, he was preparing them, and us, for the ultimate reality that awaits at the end of history. This is the final judgment, where every person who has ever lived will stand before the throne of Christ. In ancient times, sheep and goats grazed together. But a good shepherd knew when it was time to separate them. Why? Because their behaviors were different, just like people. Sheep represent those who followed God's voice. They recognized their shepherd and responded to his leading. Goats represent those who lived for themselves, ignoring his call. My friends, this isn't just about belief, it's about what we do with our belief. James 2:17 reminds us that faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. The separation isn't based on casual religious affiliation or mere intellectual assent to certain doctrines. It's about whether our lives demonstrate the transforming power of Christ. The question is, are you listening to the shepherd's voice today? To the sheep, the king says, "Come, you who are blessed by my Father. I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was a stranger and you invited me in." Notice what the king highlights. Not grand religious ceremonies or theological knowledge, but simple acts of compassion and mercy. These weren't heroic acts, they were small, loving choices. Feeding the hungry, caring for the lonely, loving the least of these. To the goats, the words are chilling. "Depart from me." Their failure wasn't in what they did, but in what they failed to do. They ignored the suffering around them, revealing hearts untouched by God's transforming grace. When the sheep ask, "Lord, when did we see you hungry and feed you?" Jesus gives a profound answer. "Whatever you did for the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me." Matthew 25:32 isn't just about the future, it's a challenge for today. Every day we're choosing. Will I be the kind of person who listens to Jesus and lives like he did, or will I walk away and ignore the needs around me? Let me be clear, we are saved by grace through faith, not by works. But our works reveal whether our faith is genuine. As Jesus said, "By their fruit you will recognize them." This passage challenges us to examine ourselves honestly. Is my faith changing how I live? Am I becoming more like the good shepherd who laid down his life for others? The decisions you make today, how you treat the hungry, the thirsty, the stranger, the naked, the sick, and the imprisoned, reveal which side of the separation you'll be on. So, where do you stand? Are you following the shepherd, or just blending into the crowd? This is not a trivial question, it concerns your eternal destiny. The good news is that while there's breath in your lungs, there's time to turn to the shepherd who loves you. If this message stirred your heart today, don't scroll past. Join our community at Hope and Love in God's Kingdom, where we explore powerful truths like this every week. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a life-changing video. Because in the end, we all want to be on the side of the shepherd. We all want to hear those wonderful words, "Well done, good and faithful servant. Enter into the joy of your master." The choice is yours. Which side will you be on when the shepherd separates the sheep from the goats?